Morning, buddy.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
How you doing? Oh, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good, good, good. Sorry, I was just didn't notice that there was a mute button on top of it. So,
No, me neither. I was like, oh yeah, there is a new button. Oh, Troy's here already. Look at him. He's here like a shot.
well,
Bless him.
hate being late.
So do I. That's why I always set it 5 minutes early because I hate being late.
Yeah,
One of my worst
I'm the
things.
worst though. I'll probably rock up at whatever event it is, like probably half an hour earlier, right? Just sit there, just to avoid being late.
I'd much rather do that though, because at least I know I'm there. If not, I like when we go on holiday and stuff as a family. I'm always like, yeah, let's get out the door like an hour early. Let's just get out. Let's go. My wife gets so annoyed with me.
100%, 100%.
Oh yeah, better be early, mate, than better to be early than be late. So yeah, no, I'm all good for that. All good for that. I think we might be a bit thin on the ground this morning. I think we might have a few people join us. A lot of people are in bed.
Yeah, that's the
But,
uh, the ongoing challenge with Down Under. Hey.
yeah, no, it's all
Yeah.
good, man. It's all good. Oh, Sarah has tuned in. She must still be up. Bless her. You're not going to want to get up in the morning, Sarah.
No. We'll
Bless her.
we'll
Bless
do
her.
we'll do a quiz probably at the middle of it to see if she's still awake.
Yeah, ask her very important questions about her VP and get the right answers. Oh dear. So what we'll do, mate, when we get to 8 o'clock, we'll follow the usual process. Quick
Mhm.
hi, how you doing? And then we'll crack on with the questions. We've got quite a few questions this time.
Yep,
Um,
there's.
and mix in the community ones, and then anybody who's awake and listening can ask a question live. Oh, we've got Julie as well. Look, Julie's on. Cool, cool, cool. So, sorry, you really need to go to bed. It's really late. It's 3 a.m. You've been watching that Spider-Man trailer too much. How cool was that Spider-Man trailer? That Spider-Man trailer was brilliant.
I have dodged every single post so far because I just don't want to get any kind of spoiler. Um,
Oh,
I've seen a
yeah.
lot of people kind of posting about it. I'm just kind of literally kind of scrolling my feed as fast as I can about
Yeah, like, cover my eyes. I don't want to see it.
it.
And it's not really that long now either, is it? It's only October,
Yeah,
so we're not that far away.
yeah, we'll go
But it
fast.
looks good. It looks really good. Really good. Well, it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning here, 5 o'clock over in sunny Australia. Let's get started. Welcome, Diego. How you doing?
Yeah, good, Dave. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. Would you rather be called Diego, your actual name, or Koala
I
TV?
I actually don't mind really. It was actually quite funny because as you know, I've been with the VGP network for quite a while, and everybody over there they call by their respective names, right? And then there
Yeah.
was one day that I was just like, "So are you guys gonna stop calling me Koala, or I'm just the excluded one here, right?" So everybody's like, "Oh my god, we don't even know your name." So
That's the thing, though. When you get used to
yeah.
using things like socials and Twitter now, you do call people by their handles rather than their names. So it's kind of weird to be like, "Hi, Diego."
Yeah, but I'm happy with whatever you feel like, mate.
Like it's early in the morning. I'll probably mix it up. I'll probably forget. I'm half asleep. Let's do it. Let's get going. So we got a lot of questions today. So we'll go straight in with the first one. So
Yep.
you're a game capture artist. You're a YouTube content creator. You're a master collaborator. You've experienced and achieved a lot in your journey so far. But let's start with your YouTube channel. So most people start a YouTube channel. They do some regular content and
Mm.
either slow down or change it up or move on. But you've remained dedicated and consistent since you started out up in I think around 2019. And you've
Yep.
got over 3,000 subscribers, over 1,300 videos, nearly 500,000 views. What prompted you to set up the channel, and what motivates you to keep posting regular content? Because you're always putting new stuff on there and in a regular way. What motivates you to do that? And prompted it?
I actually started way before I found virtual photography, right? So um, basically, as I used to play only on PlayStation, and I just thought about, basically going trophy hunting, right? And I thought, well, there wasn't a lot of channels back then that were doing, I guess, platinum trophies to an extent. There were just one or two. So I decided to start that channel, but with the hope that it was kind of more like someone like that never played the game would play like a full walkthrough, but at the end of it, you kind of would try to get the platinum trophy, right? So
Yeah.
that's how I started. I started with a weird choice, to be honest. I started with Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was a multiplayer game.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I think people start to get more entertained with, I guess, my lack of skills in the game, as opposed to kind of try to get the platinum trophy. So I started to actually get some videos that would start to kind of, show a bit of kind of like when you're small, right? Like you get like 500 views or whatever. You guys like, oh my god, this is just kind of mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
And then I slowly, I think where the channel really peaked where was when I did the platinum for Days Gone. And it was like, I remember this one because there was a massive one. I think I did in 90 parts or 90 videos.
Yeah.
Um, and that's where I think because not a lot of people did play at launch, I end up kind of getting a lot of video views, as a result of that. And that's where I literally started doing like more like full game walkthroughs, but like trying more to kind of platinum focus. But obviously, as you said, after a long time, more YouTube channels surface, right? And you have to kind of switch it up a little bit, right? Because channels start to kind of going down in views here
Yeah.
and there, and then you start to post like every day. But the problem is not about you posting every day; it's more about the content you're posting and so on. So that's
Mhm.
where I start to kind of, I think it was like 1.5 year ago, I start to kind of switch around a bit more to say like what I really want to post on the channel, right? So more like for me, since I started VP, I started posting more about, in particular when I transitioned to PC, like how to use certain tools because I struggled quite a bit at the start.
Mhm.
And then as I got to work with Nvidia as well, I started kind of posting a lot of the stuff around, showcasing the graphics, using the latest kind of drivers that they have and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I think start to kind of go into a different kind of niche, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me now it's just like it's not really about kind of posting like too many times a week. It's more about like having more like curated content, I guess. When I feel like there is something that I want to post about it, I'll publish basically.
And that's definitely the feeling you get with your channel. The consistency of it. It's not like you're posting loads of stuff every day and just random content. There is such a consistency to it.
Mm, yeah, exactly. And I try to kind of do a bit of a balance, right? Because I know that now I do have a few virtual photographers in there as well. So I do a little bit of kind of the videos in terms of sometimes I'm showing how I took a shot as an example. Others more about probably my opinion around the photo mode. But also I know that a lot of people want to know, for instance, how this game runs on PC or etc. Right? So I kind of try to cover a little bit of the two worlds in there.
Definitely, definitely. The Nvidia. We're going to touch on Nvidia in a minute, but obviously the Nvidia content, is that a stipulation of what you have to do, or you've just chosen to do that as part of the content on your channel?
No, I just chose to do it, really.
Yeah.
It's just kind of try to kind of reach a different type of variety, right? Like the VP fun is fun and all, right? But I think that the showcasing the games, either like sometimes like I showcase the game that everybody has seen it, but like with different mods and things like that, kind of bring some different people to revisit as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's more about like what I feel really like. Not, I don't feel if you feel like that you're kind of pushing yourself to do something, but for somebody else, you just kind of lose a bit the fun of it, and then it just becomes a burden, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So we've mentioned them, so let's touch on it. So you're currently working with tech and AI giant Nvidia as a game capture artist, which you must be so proud of. And I know working with such a global leader like them comes potentially with certain NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, about what you can and can't talk about. But what can you tell us about your journey with them so far?
Yep. Look, obviously, as you pointed out, it's a bit hard to go into the specific, in particular, the day-to-day kind of things that we do there, right? But obviously, it has been a great ride, in particular when I got introduced to them, right? It was completely just like a different kind of day, I guess, that you get a DM for someone saying like, hey, by the way, would you like to join our group of digital artists? We love your content, this sort of thing. And I guess like working with not only like the latest tech that they bring to, in particular for PC gaming, like working with, God of War, Miles Morales. I did a Plague Tale, Requiem as well. Guardians of the Galaxy, and to name a few, right, is just like kind of really cool, right? Obviously, it comes as well with, it is. I think there was a question thing from Marlene around that. It's a job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you still have deadlines, you still have briefs, that you have to, hit. So it's not that it's just like it's always fun, right? Because sometimes you will have. I mean, it's not fun, but I'm saying you're not
Yeah.
gonna always play a game that you're interested in. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so for instance, I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, right? So for instance, I did cover Warhammer, right, 40,000 in one of the campaigns that they did, right?
Yeah.
It was fine and all, but it's just like it's not something that I was like really looking forward, as opposed to when they announced, hey, by the way, we're gonna cover Miles Morales, launching on PC. I was just like already count me in, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll do it for whatever it costs, right? Sign me up.
Yeah.
So it's a different, yeah, but you still have, in I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but it's kind of, it's not that I have plenty of time, to do a lot of these things. A lot of times it's kind of, I don't know what people consider strict timelines or not, but like considering this is not my actual job, right?
Mm.
This is
Yeah.
just like a hobby, having like a week or two or so to kind of come up with something creative for it, right?
Yeah.
I find it sometimes it's quite a strict deadline, right? It's doable, but it's just kind of, you need to really be in the zone to do some of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you're mixing it in with your everyday life, kids, family, that kind of thing, it is quite a pressured timeline. And obviously, if there's a certain quality of content they're requiring, there is always going to be that amount of pressure, isn't there? Especially with a couple of weeks deadline.
Yeah, 100%, right? And I think like, I think the challenge as well is not only hitting the deadline, but like delivering something that you feel like proud of, right?
Yeah.
I think there is nothing worse that, for instance, let's say you go to a game, take a few photos and whatever, but you're just like, what is this, right? Well, like I don't even comprehend what I did with this photo as an example, right? Like, that's where you kind of start looking like you pushed yourself to something that you couldn't really kind of I guess connect with, right? I
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
ultimately in virtual photography is all about really building that connection with the game, right? So photos that are super creative is like when people really kind of enjoy diving into the world, figuring out different things and so on, so it's just one of those kind of things for me.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's really interesting to hear about it as well. And so you mentioned there they approached you. Had you already been doing any form of content around showcases, or did that come after they approached you?
No, it came after. I was just
Yeah.
honestly just doing virtual photography, really.
Yeah.
When I started actually um, taking a few photos on a few games on PC, right? So because obviously they are not on PlayStation, like things like Flight Simulator, and so on.
Yeah.
And that just kind of, I think, brought it up in the region itself, like a bit of I don't know, interest, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was like, for me, I was like kind of surprised, because it's one of those things they say like, oh, we love your content, but it was just probably, I don't know, the first or second time that probably they engage with it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, so you guys have been seeing it, and so on.
It's such a nice compliment, though, isn't it? For somebody like that to come to you and say that is such a massive compliment about your work.
Oh, absolutely. And when I got that DM, I remember, like, I went back and I was just like, oh my God, this is just like, is this real? Or, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, are you telling me to go to your global team? And so I was just like, yep, that's what we meant.
And
So, yeah.
how did you celebrate? What did you do?
Oh, what did I do? I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But it was definitely a cool journey, I must say, right? And I remember, even the first game I did with them was an indie game. What was it called? The Mist, the remake. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, that's really good. So we've touched on the video, but you've also started working, collaborating with Ubisoft as a partner content creator, and you've worked with them on launches like such as Far Cry 6. So what does being a partner content creator entail with a company like Ubisoft?
Well, it's pretty amazing, right? First of all, is like, Ubi was, I think, the first dev really that started following me, right? That they were the first, I think. Yes, they were. And it all started, I think, with when I started posting, I think, Valhalla. Um, and the guys here in Australia, they are fantastic in terms of support to content creators.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it is in the UK or
Rubbish.
other rubbish. But over here, they are so supportive of everyone that posted content about their games. That is actually quite a beautiful example. I think what I would like to see with other devs in that regard. I've been playing like Ubisoft games like since forever, right? Like, I started with the first Assassin's Creed, played pretty much all of them. Big fan of The Division, Watch Dogs, and so on, right? So I've been like on the long ride with them so far, but it was just great to finally be officially, I guess, accepted in the program, right, with them.
And I mean, being part of the program, is that events? Is that early access? What's the benefits of being a partner content creator?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I think they even kind of published, made a few posts about it, right? But it's basically, you get a free early access to a few of their games, right? You get to do a little bit of the closed betas, and know a little bit of few extra information, I guess, before certain games are released or made public. Of course, everything under NDAs and so on, right? But the one that I did work with them was like ages ago, which was a Far Cry 6. That one was outside before I joined the program. Basically that was probably the first game I got to shoot before it was released, right? So I get the opportunity to kind of play up a little bit with the photo mode, get a few snaps before the launch and so on, do a bit of teases and things like that, right?
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I feel like a little bit harsh saying Ubisoft UK is rubbish. They're not rubbish. They're maybe not as open in my experience. But yeah, and I think the thing is that I think with things like Ubi and like that is, I think you have to show that dedication. I mean, I know they've got like the Mentors Guild and all that kind of stuff. I think you have to show that dedication to the games. If you're just playing one of their games and then you're playing loads of other stuff, they obviously want people on board and to work with people who have a connection with their game. So I can kind of understand it. And you can hear me backtracking now, can't you, from that comment? Please, Ubi, please follow me. But I do understand it. I understand it.
Yeah, yeah. But I
So
think it is kind of a little bit the same with any devs, right? Like you see, like Square Enix and so on, right? Like they promote a lot of content creators. Not necessarily they are massive in scale, right, compared to others, but they are people that really truly follow their games, right, to their heart, right. So I think more and more you'd see kind of it's almost like an exclusive deal, right, in a way, right.
yeah, yeah, no, that does make sense. It does make sense. And the Square Enix and especially the Final Fantasy community. Geez, I was posting pictures from Final Fantasy, and I was getting likes that I've never even seen before. There's
Yeah,
obviously there's people very dedicated to those franchises and bits. So yeah, it does
yeah,
make
there
sense.
is. Yeah, I remember like one of the like there is a big streamer here, Skill Up in Australia. He kind of didn't like it, Final Fantasy 16,
Yeah.
and the whole Final Fantasy community came at him. All the comments, it's just like he got butchered.
Oh yeah, they're very dedicated, but they're also very thirsty. They're very thirsty.
Yeah, yeah,
They, they like the
yeah,
pictures of Clive. But anyway,
yeah.
we'll leave
The internet police, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're 4 questions in, and we're still not done with the collaborations. So you've also, when God of War Ragnarok Photo Mode was released, you did a how-to feature with PlayStation Australia. Tell us a little bit about how that came about. Did they approach you? Did you approach them?
Yep. Yeah. Once again, there was another one of those kind of wow moments. um, I got a message from them, basically saying that as we all know, Ragnarok launched with a photo mode, right? And they were saying that it was on the path to kind of get released very soon, and they wanted to basically do a collaboration with me around, basically how to utilize photo mode, not only from someone that has already experienced using the photo mode before, but also for newcomers.
Yeah.
Um, that one was actually very strict deadline, to be honest. I think if I'm not wrong, I had like 24 hours or so.
Wow.
To literally connect with the game and come up with something that it would be kind of useful, I guess, for someone to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up kind of working fine. Obviously, with the time constraint, it wasn't something that I had, because usually I do take a little bit of time to warm up with the game. I'm not sure about you, Dave,
Oh,
but
no, definitely. You do. You have to play
yeah,
it, get used to it, the features, the format. Yeah, you need that time to
yeah.
connect with it.
Yeah, so I usually kind of, I don't know, between like 4 to 6 hours probably, right? To like where you've already attempted a couple of photos, and then you're like, right, now I kind of get it, what I can and I can't do with the photo mode, right? So 24 hours is kind of reminding again everyone that, this is not my actual job, right? So
Yeah.
this is kind of something on the side. So, having like really really kind of small time frame to do it was a bit kind of hard, but I'm glad that I put the effort to it, and it will end up working really well.
And what was your initial thoughts about the God of War FOMO? Because there's been obviously a lot of chat around they didn't change it, they scaled things back. What was your
Yeah,
initial?
I was very disappointed, to be honest, right? Because they knew that there were a couple of things that we were hoping them to fix, in particular the range, that was quite limited. And I was a bit disappointed that they didn't actually do that. And I think they overcomplicated a little bit with the UI as well, right? Where it was hard to see when depth of field was being applied or not, and you have to, hide and then put it back again to
Yeah,
tweak it. So I wasn't very happy with it, and I have this theory as well. For me, is just that if you're gonna launch a game and you're not planning to have photo mode at launch, it's kind of, you're gonna lose probably half of your player base, I reckon.
yeah,
Um, I'm the kind of guy that I'll probably play the game, and then once I finish, I'll probably be moving on to the next. Um, so I'm not gonna be basically, oh, let me do an NG play and sorry, NG play plus next. I wouldn't be like straight away. I don't have the time, I think, to do all of that. So I think the fact that they released like pretty late, I was already over with the story, because I think it was like, I don't know, 2 months after or something, wasn't it, that they
Yeah,
released?
yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't
So,
finished the story.
oh, really?
I, see when I got my PS5 in, I want to say February, March, and it
Oh, fair
came with
enough.
God of War Ragnarok.
Fair
Um,
enough.
and I played it. I got other couple of games, but yeah, I just haven't finished it. I don't know. And yeah, the range in the PM, that the same as Final Fantasy 16. That range is appalling.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that annoys me in photo mode, well, it doesn't annoy me, but I find frustrating is, when, and this is probably more in Final Fantasy 16, when you have all the effects like the fire effects or wind effects, that kind of thing,
Yeah. That
is
they rotate
they,
along with it.
they rotate along with it, but also you get the blur. So where they've obviously, you've got the effect, but when it's obviously set up and it's kind of
Yeah.
larger effect, but you can only see some of it, it blurs it. And that really, really annoys me in a photo image. Oh, that's a brilliant shot. I just need to tweak it a little bit more. And you tweak it, and then it's all blurry.
It's
So
all
yeah,
blurry. I know.
yeah,
I know the feeling. I got a few of them like on Final Fantasy 16 as well, like that.
yeah.
And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I always try to turn it off motion blur when I'm gonna play a new game. But like with Final Fantasy 16, they just forced it on you, right? No matter what you do, they'll still turn it on.
Exactly. And it's a shame because, the
Mm.
character models and all of that in Final Fantasy 16 are amazing. But
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah.
you're just limited. But hey, that's enough about Final Fantasy 16. So before we get to talk a bit more about your VP, tell us a little bit more about the man behind the capture button. What do you do in your spare time? Got family, interests, that kind of thing. Let's find out a little bit more about you personally.
Um,
What do you want
what
to give
can I
away?
say? Giveaway. No, well, I'm pretty passionate about football. I do watch pretty much kind of, Premier League. World Cup is, you know, easy. Even I'm watching now. There is the women's World Cup now in Australia and New Zealand as well. Kind of
Yeah.
watching that as well. I do enjoy a lot of doing cooking. So now and then I kind of try to do different recipes and things like that. Don't know.
We need to add you to our food porn chat group then.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, let's get you added in. Troy's in there as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. Yeah. No, I love food. We'll touch on food later. But do you cook a lot of stuff from scratch, like trying out new recipes and bits and pieces?
Oh, I gotta say, depending on the dish, I might kind of cheat a bit. But yeah, I do try to follow the recipe by heart. But like when they started, like, oh, let's make this sauce now from scratch. I was just like, mate, I just got the jar here, right? It's just like that'll do.
Mate, you got to cheat sometimes, haven't you? You can't always be perfect. Eh?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool, cool, cool. Um, so it's nice to know a little bit more about you. So let's get to your VP now. So
Mm.
you play on console and you play on PC. Do you predominantly capture on PC over console, or is it like a 50-50 split?
Um, Actually depends. To be honest, if you ask me, I would always prefer console. Just from the comfort perspective, right? So I can literally lay down on my couch
Yeah.
and relax. I don't enjoy sitting on the chair for a long time. So that's probably why I'll probably. That's why I consider, like, I was surprised that you didn't finish God of War Ragnarok, because like I probably consider myself probably the slowest player on earth, right? When it gets to finish any game. Just because if I play on PC, like Elder Ring, for instance, that was, oh my god, it was like 4 or 5 months, right? Because
Yeah, I love
you
it.
know, yeah, but yeah, I personally try to look ahead a bit in terms of if it is a game that I want to um, take shots. I will probably see if the game will actually have a built-in photo mode, and whatever they demo it is something that I've seen that before. That's going to be a bit sketchy. Just going to waste my time on it and so on. So that's where I would go probably to PC first, with the hope that someone is going to build a mod that is going to open up the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a particular preference, to be honest.
Yeah, just mix it up a bit, and as and when you feel like it.
That's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
I'm a very slow gamer. I get like 3 hours a week when my wife's watching dodgy soap operas. That's my game time. So I have very limited. It takes me a long time to finish a game, unless I really get into it and I try and squeeze in some more time when she's asleep or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
the only
no,
game I've done that was The Last of Us.
yeah,
That was the only game that I was just like, I need to play more tomorrow. It's just
yeah.
like I need to know what happened, and so on. So The Last of Us was probably the obviously part one and part two. The They were the only games that I was just like day after day, probably going as a zombie to work. Like just like, but it was so worth it.
I have to say though, I still haven't finished part two.
Oh my god, this
I
interview is
know,
just going
I know.
completely.
I know I'm going to get so told off on Twitter, but no, I think I've got up to what did I get up to? I think Joel's um, just told Ellie or admitted to Ellie
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
he lied.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
long way to go.
that's all I'm at, man, and
Yeah.
that's where it stayed for a while. But I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. So when you do capture on PC, do
Yeah.
you do you use PC tools? Do you use the PMs? And what are the pros and cons of not being as restricted by in-game photo modes when you use tools?
But those are fine, I think. I think where you start to get a bit lost is when you start looking at mods, right? That's where things get interesting, right? So, for instance, Cyberpunk, obviously you're gonna have the camera tools there that France puts together.
Mm.
Um, that opens up pretty much the whole range from the photo mode. But then you're going like to a place like Nexus Mod, and you go like, oh, here's a mod to improve the textures of the billboards. Here's a texture to improve the texture of whatever. And I remember, I think I end up, I don't know, 30 to 40 mods in Cyberpunk or so.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you realize how much time you invest in, because when they basically release a new patch and then everything breaks and you have to re-download the whole lot again, right?
Yeah.
To see what broke my game, why it doesn't launch anymore, right? But like people think like it's like, oh, PC is much easier somewhere, right? Like I don't think it is, right? It got crashes that you don't know what was the cause of. I in Jedi Survivor as an example, every time I was kind of fun invader, the game crashed. I didn't know what it was, and
Mm.
then one of my mates from Nvidia told me there's like I tried turning off ray tracing, and I did, and it worked, right? But I was like literally for a full week trying to go through waiting patch after patch to kind of play, right? So PC has those kind of headaches, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. But yeah, it definitely the freedom in terms of you basically it's your kind of playground, right? From
Yeah.
that perspective.
So from
Yeah.
being someone who hasn't used tools, and mods literally confuse the hell out of me. Is it
Yeah.
quite a laborious or tedious process to get it all set up? Is it like you just download something and press run? I mean, is it?
I'm sure there are way more savvy people out there, right, that do this quite quickly. But I do take a bit of time, in particular, because nowadays I do try to look at mods, right? Because some of them, for instance, they can improve the textures, like in the further away, right? Where you're, like, for instance, taking the shot and so on.
Yeah.
So I do spend a bit of time kind of setting it up um, in preparation to it. Um, the worst, obviously, what I think was like the one that I got as well that I can think of apart from Cyberpunk was Red Dead Redemption. There was
Mm.
like a ton of mods there, right? And they used to break every single thing. So I think it depends what you want. If you just want to kind of play the game as it is, it's not too complicated, right? You basically you just kind of follow a couple steps, select the program, run, and then it will find the camera within the game, right? And then it's just a matter of you setting up the shortcuts so that you can basically pause the world and enable the free camera when you feel like it, right?
That sounds very confusing. I'm glad I'm on
Yeah,
console.
yeah, yeah. Our console is pretty
That's the thing.
practical, right?
That's the
Yeah,
thing. I think a lot of people see pictures taken on PC and think, "Oh, wow, I'm so jealous of PC players. They could do this." Which there is a certain part of that, but
yeah,
if when it takes so long to set stuff up, and I've got
yeah.
such limited time, yeah, I'd get a bit impatient with it. If I'm honest.
Oh, me too. Right. Like so recently, there was one of I forgot his name on Twitter, right? But I saw him posting photos of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right? And I was
Yeah,
just like, oh my god, I'm so down to take photos of this game, right? And I remember troubleshooting with him for like 2 hours, and we couldn't figure out what was the problem. And then he finally found the problem was like on Windows 11 there was a process in the background that basically didn't allow the camera to be injected into the game, right?
yeah,
And then I was like, oh my god. And then it was so good that he actually released a fix like the day after, and then it worked.
yeah,
It was amazing, right? But then after that, I had another problem with corrupted files because I downloaded the mod and things like that. So it's just
yeah,
like, yeah, I that's why one of the reasons like console is easier. You know, it's kind of convenient, right? You don't have
mm,
to do all this kind of initial prep up front, in my opinion. But yeah, it's just
yeah,
kind of everyone's preference. Like I said, there are people out there that probably love spending 20 hours doing that kind of stuff. I'm same with you. I'm just like what is the bare minimum for me to kind of get started, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. Was it? I think I saw that on. Was it Olivier? Olivier who
Yeah,
posted
yeah,
the?
that was
Yeah,
him. Yeah, that was
yeah,
him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I thought it was. Yeah, I saw his picture
yeah,
of the ship, and I thought I was a little bit jealous. I was a little bit jealous.
yeah, yeah,
But if you've had that many problems, I'm glad I don't have it. It's
yeah.
all good. It's all good. So, sticking with PC for a second, do you think PC spec and power is important in high quality VP captured on your PC, or do you think the quality comes from the content and the artist's capture style?
um, that's a good question. Um,
Thanks.
yeah, yes and no. I would say. So a lot of times I would say no because it's about the composition, right? Really, right, of the photo, right? But you can't disregard, for instance, like you have a game like Cyberpunk, right? When you're playing cycle settings on PC, right, mate, it's just like all the reflections on the floor and so on, they just add to the picture, right?
Yeah,
It's just like now they release as well. I don't know if you saw path tracing, right, which is that overdrive new ray tracing technology, right?
yeah,
um, it just looks like the lighting looks so real, right? It's just like so amazing. So you kind of, when you look from that perspective, I think it depends how the game implements it in a
yeah,
way. So if the game implements it like really well, like for instance, in Jedi Survivor, I couldn't really see much difference with ray tracing on and off on PC, right? Um, so I would say that that will be one case that will be like, I don't think it makes any difference, but um, in games like Cyberpunk, I think it does, right?
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. I mean, when you look at all the
Yeah.
cyberpunk VP, of characters and bits
Mm,
and pieces, that's probably one of the reasons why I don't do portraits and character shots in cyberpunk, because when you do
yeah.
it with the vanilla photo mode compared to
You
the mods,
you
it's like
can't compare. That's right.
it's like taking a picture of a potato. I may as
Yeah.
well put a picture of a potato on Twitter.
That's right.
It's night and
And
day.
and these guys have like, they have mods to basically spawn things, spawn items, they have a bunch of kind of custom lightings that they can add, all sort of things. It's just kind of really unfair competition, if you ask me, right?
Yeah, that's why I've just started to stick to taking pictures of Night City now. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Yep, that's a good strategy.
I can't wait for Phantom Liberty though. That's going to be good.
That would be good. Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Looking forward to that one. So, are you? This kind of ties in with a question we've had from Cinemane VP as well. And I'm going to ask his version of the question because it just sounds a lot cooler than mine.
Okay.
Um, so he said, "Do you put any premeditated thought into the shots you want, or are you some kind of wizard that does it all on the spot?"
Okay. um, Definitely not a wizard. Um, but I don't plan. That's the thing, right? So I just go open minded to the game, see what kind of connection I do with the game, right? Obviously, my kind of style with photography is more around landscaping with the character,
Yeah,
present or not. That's the kind of thing that I enjoy basically shooting. um, but I don't really plan anything for it. I do have though a ton of art books from games,
yeah,
um, which I do read them to understand kind of the concept art that the art director went with and so on to understand. And they have like such amazing kind of mouth-watering shots in those kind of books, so it
yeah.
kind of helps a little bit kind of creativity wise for me in terms of, so like in particular Assassin's Creed, right? Those books are just kind of phenomenal, right? So
Definitely. And I think, does that change though when you're doing your kind of work aspect from a plan point of view?
from a point of view,
Helping
no.
you. No, so you still go with spontaneous rather than if you get a
Yeah,
brief, you don't go in looking for that. You just wait till it arises or when it feels
yeah,
right.
that's right. Yeah, obviously if I'm doing like a job, right? Sometimes we do get briefs, right? It's not often, but well, majority of the times we do get briefs, but some of them are kind of more like, oh, emphasize on boss battles and things like that, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of easy. But I did have some that were actually quite. I think going back to your question, I think that probably I had to think about a little bit in terms of how I was gonna to take the shot. So there was one that, for instance, um, that was probably one of the hardest ones. So I had to take a shot of a character, but in the background, it also had to show two other NPCs at a minimum, right? Sort of
Okay.
situation, right? Um, yeah, that was pretty annoying because even though like I got like a good shot, like the guy in the background is like doing something random, right? And then if the guy is doing some random, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this shot is not very good because the guy is doing something random." It's like, yeah, I know, right? But
Yeah.
I don't have control of him, right? So
Yeah.
what can I do about it, right? But yes, it just that was probably one of times that probably I had to plan a little bit to say like, okay, how do I actually take a photo of this guy,
Yeah.
um, so that everything kind of works out, right?
Yeah. No, definitely, definitely. And do you what when you go into the photo modes in the games, what's your go-to setting? Do you have go-to settings that you always go to first, or does it depend on what sort of shot you're trying to take?
I try to enter like the first minute it's available.
Yeah.
And the first thing I check is the range.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. I don't care about anything else. I just check the range first. Yeah.
And then when it's a really rubbish range, you like turn it straight off. Not going to play it.
Oh man, it's just like when I opened Final Fantasy 16, I was just like, why? But I was like, deep down, I was just like, you know what? At least this is better, way better than Final Fantasy 7 remake, right? Way better.
Yeah. And I suppose why some of these games have ranged, you can probably see it with Final Fantasy 16, is the character models are amazing. And when you're
Yeah.
up close to the scenery, the foliage, that kind of thing, that's amazing. But if you have too much range, if the quality of say you're looking at, I can't remember the name of the city with the big crystal behind it, but you know the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
If you want to try and take a picture of that, when you zoom in, you can see that the quality is not there. Obviously, it's going to happen like that in most games when stuff's far away. So I can you kind of know why they've got a short range, because they've made the character models so amazing. They haven't done so much on some of the other stuff. So it's probably kind of a protection thing. We don't want people to be able to take pictures and be like, oh, that doesn't look very good. So you kind of get it, but you think in this day and age, the range has got to be there. It's definitely got to be there.
I think so, right? If I look like Final Fantasy 16, right? I think they went for, we want people to take photos of our characters, right? That's it, right? That was the goal of the photo mode, right? It wasn't really about the environments, even though the environments were gorgeous, right? But like you said, like probably if you zoom in, it probably wouldn't show the quality that we are seeing, like, 300 kilometers away, so to speak. But yeah, I think if you had a little bit more range, it would help with like a bit more with the action shots, in my opinion, right? Because the effects of the moves are amazing, right? But because you can't go too back, it's just too restrictive.
Exactly. And then when you zoom out to try and catch it all in, you just get that distortion, don't you? So
that's right. Yep.
But hey, we got a photo mode. That's the important thing, isn't it?
We got a photo mode. That's
We've got
right.
a photo mode.
Yeah. I just hope that they don't use the because we're still gonna have the 7 remake part 2, right? I just hope that they don't use the 1.7 remake and they use this one, right? But I have a feeling that they will use for the 7 remake because it's the same engine.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think we should prepare ourselves for disappointment.
For the worst, yeah.
So do you post edit your captures with tools or external apps or software, or do you just leave it how you captured it?
I think everybody does, right? Like I think post-processing is just part of the process, right? Like if you see any photographer out there, they will do some level of balancing, I guess, right? In particular, when you take the photo, sometimes how many times you went back to look at on your phone, you're just like, oh, it looks a bit washed out in comparison to what I saw in my on my TV, right? And the fact is, photo mode itself, imagine if they had literally every single feature that, for instance, like a tool like Lightroom, for instance, has, right? You take like 3 hours to take a photo, right? Nobody could be bothered with that, So, I do kind of slightly edit it. Very rarely I would change completely the look and feel of the game. For my photos, there are some instances that I do. And when I do those, it's just because I wasn't happy at all with my photo, and I tried to rescue it with with an edit, But I do use Lightroom, and that's just purely because it allows me to basically edit in multiple devices.
Yeah. I love Lightroom. I love it.
Yeah.
And as you can probably tell from my Assassin's Creed Origins captures, I love the presets.
No, it looks great. Yeah, I was loving that kind of, really, what do you call it, like Egyptian kind of look, that you're putting some of those shots. Yeah.
I think sometimes, like when we speak to other people, you've got to kind of push yourself. I mean, I was just taking pictures of people's faces and characters, and to be honest, it just got a bit boring. As much as I like it, and it's probably what got a lot of followers, I just wanted to mix it up, and especially with Origins, I know I've taken the mick out of Jack for so long about pots and pans and sand with Origins, but I've just really got into it and really got into sets, landscape, mixing it up a bit. So yeah, no, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's about like what kind of makes your style, right? Like when you're kind of starting, you basically try to kind of snap around,
mm,
and as once you find something that you kind of really enjoy in terms of be your kind of, I guess, signature kind of style, right? You just
yeah,
kind of start doing more of that. As opposed, I'm the same with you. I don't mind taking portraits, but rarely I'll take photos like that.
yeah. And I think
Yeah,
you've got to mix it up. And
yeah,
I'm one for of learning how to do different stuff. I was comfortable doing portraits, but I wanted to learn how to do like a meaningful set or change it up. And it's just part of growth, isn't it? Learning new processes and bits and pieces. So yeah, no, it's all good, all good.
cool.
So let's talk about games. So what is your favorite game to play, and what is your favorite game to capture?
Okay. Favorite game to play like with a photo mode, right? I assume.
Yeah.
Um, all right, this is gonna be probably controversial, but Streets of Rage 4 is my go-to game. To be honest, yeah. So it's kind of a beat 'em up, arcadey. Literally, kind of don't have to think about anything. Don't need to listen to any story. It's literally just go on the street and beating up a bunch of people, right? That's pretty much
Stress
what the
relief.
game is. Exactly. That's pretty much what the game is. Yeah.
And what about your favorite game to capture?
Um, man, I gotta say, like, if you look at my folio, right? I just love Assassin's Creed, man. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Yeah. It's my favorite game to take photos for sure.
And you're excited for Mirage?
Yeah, very, very, very exciting. Very exciting.
It does look really, really good. I'm excited to play that one too.
Yeah.
And we had Ultravioletra, or B, as I like to call her, asked a
Yeah.
question. So, what game do you feel is underrated and needs some more love?
Ooh, okay. From a with a photo mode, I think, right? I think she was referring to.
Yeah,
Um, look, I really like Watch Dogs Legion and Mad Max. I think those two I don't see quite often on at least on my feed. People playing,
mm.
and they have. I don't remember Mad Max how good was the photo mode. To be honest, I played a long time ago, but Watch Dogs Legion photo mode is actually pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. See, Mad Max, I really like Mad Max. I think it had quite a simple photo mode, but I think the vistas and that were really good. So it didn't really
That's
matter
right.
that there wasn't a
Yeah.
decent photo mode.
Yeah.
And again, Watch Dogs Legions, it's another one of those games where I dropped into it, started playing around with it, and then just dropped it. I don't know what made me drop it, but yeah, I mean, I loved Watch Dogs 2. Absolutely loved Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah, two was great. Yeah. Shame you didn't have a photo mode though. That would
Exactly.
be amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, Legion for me didn't, I don't know what I didn't connect with it. It seems though it's in my country. I should have connected it with it really well.
Yeah. I was quite excited shooting in London, to be honest. But yeah, I think it was because the different tech that they had in the game, right? So it was more about you can play as any character and so on, which was kind of fun. But it took away, I think, in my opinion, a bit the story that both previous Watch Dogs games had.
Yeah.
In particular, number two. I'm with you. Watch Dogs number two was like my favorite.
And with the first thing I done in Watch Dogs 2 was try to get to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. First thing I done.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't
Obviously,
try that. You can't do it.
you can do it. I mean, I think you have to unlock something to be able to move the lift, so you can't do it straight away. But yeah, you can
Right.
you can
Okay.
get to. I think you can get like three-quarters of the way up. But yeah, but there was no camera, so you
Right.
just climb up it just for the hell of it.
Yep. Yep.
But no, that was a brilliant game. That was a brilliant game. And what games are on your shopping list for the remainder of 2023?
Shopping list. All right. So I've already pre-ordered a few of them, to be honest. I got Alan Wake 2,
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2, obviously, Starfield, Avatar, Mirage. I'm also looking, but probably I'll play a bit later, Alone in the Dark, the remake.
Yeah,
And
there's a demo of that, isn't there, at the moment?
there is, I've played it. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Yeah, it looks really good. Really, really good. Obviously, it's just kind of a brief, I think it was like 15 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
obviously, you want to know what kind of happens after, like how it's going to be the gameplay and so on, because you just play more like exploring
Mm.
sort of demo. But yeah, I'll be interested. So the only issue with Alone in the Dark, it also comes in October, right? Like everything else, so it's going to be a bit difficult to squeeze that in. And I'm also kind of interested in Lords of the Fallen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but that one, I know it's coming in October, but yeah, I think it's gonna be. I'm already set on my calendar. It's gonna be all Mirage until I finish it 100%.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably move into Spider-Man next, I think, and then I'll catch up with Alan Wake and everything else after.
October
Yeah,
is going to be a busy, busy month.
it
The,
will.
the whole
Yep.
gaming community is going to be
Yep.
poor in October.
Yep.
Nobody's getting any Christmas presents this year because we're going to spend all our money on games in
Oh yeah,
October.
man, that's right.
Christmas is cancelled. Um, I've missed one of the most important questions of the interview. So
Okay. What
it's
is
the question. It's the question that gets everyone's mouth watering, and we've touched on food already. What
Okay,
is your
yeah.
all-time favorite food?
All-time favorite food. All right. I'll have to say I'm probably gonna butcher my French here, but I'll say it's chicken fricassee. That's probably the one that I love the most to make. So it's basically um, shred chicken. You put I don't know, like to call like creamy sauce, I guess, for
Yeah,
lack of creativity for it. And then you have a bit of uh, um, cheese on top. You put in the oven, grill it, and then you have a bit of some kind of French fries on top. Not actual French fries, but those kind of
yeah,
savory
yeah.
um, things. It's like amazing. I'll send you the recipe.
Send me. It's 5 to 9 in the morning here, and I'm wanting to eat chicken
There you
fricassee.
go.
I haven't even had breakfast yet. I can't eat that before breakfast. You're making me hungry. You're making me hungry. No, yeah, that sounds amazing. Amazing. I'm not going to talk to you this week about my slow cooker because I've done that every week to everybody else. So we're just going to
Did you?
step away. We're going to
Okay.
step away from cooking conversation. Um, so my feed's always full of your content on a daily basis, and I know we touched on this with your YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
do you have a plan for what you post each day, or is it just random? As in, do you have rules you follow, like a certain amount of posts, or this game that day, that sort of thing?
Um, no, actually. So obviously, like you said, similar for me is just like I think time management is everything, right? So what I tend to do is on Sundays, I tend to basically do drafts
Mm-hmm.
of my posts for the entire week. Um, and basically I just post whenever I'm available, whatever I feel like on the spot. Right, like if you see like what I post is just like random. Right? Like I post sometimes like games from 2015, 18. It doesn't. It's just like what I feel like posting, really.
And is this games like this is why I always think when people post from older games, is this where you've got stuff in your back catalogue or your archives, or have you played the old game recently?
Yeah. So well. Final Fantasy is probably the one that I was posting as I was playing. I was posting as well.
Yeah.
Um, so I tend to kind of I don't really rush with trying to be the first one to post the photo of a new game and so on. I just post when I feel like there is something that I liked that I want to post about it, right? Like to be honest with you, Jules is still listening, right? So she's still there. Good. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I keep telling her like, cause she calls me mad, right? Cause sometimes I take like 500 photos of a game, but I end up only posting like 150. I delete everything else, right? And she's like, why? Why don't you post the rest? Or just like, cause by the time I look back at them, I just don't like them anymore, right? So I just
Yeah.
kind of get sick of it. But yeah, I just kind of plan the posts for the week, because that's where I just don't have the time to basically rush with something last minute. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just have them kind of ready to go, basically.
Be free and easy. Post when you want, when you want.
Yep,
That's the thing.
that's
And
it.
this ties in with the question that Malin asked about, does it feel like a job? If you start to have too much of a routine, then it does start to feel
Mm.
like a job, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, that's right. But that's why, like, I think for me, it's just I mix it up a bit, right? So I just don't post about new things only, right? I just
Mm.
post like things that I do enjoy, like. But I do have a rule though, because when it start to get like too many games that are posting at the same time, I kind of get a bit overwhelming for me. So what I like to do is basically I ran out of photos of one particular game, so then I bring another game in to start posting again.
Yeah.
So a good example of that, for instance, I'm trying. I don't know. I'll probably be posting for a while still Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and then
Yeah.
after that, I'll have already Black Flag already ready to go. Probably by the time I do it. So yeah, just do like. But yeah, as you said, yes, I do have a couple of albums there, just sitting there, just waiting. Once you finish, don't forget about me, right? Post me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
See, I'm playing a game, take the pictures and post it because I literally have no time at all. But I am like you though. I do take lots of pictures, and then when it comes to when I've got them in Lightroom and I'm going through them to edit, yeah, quite a lot of them hit the cutting room floor. I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't look right.
yeah.
So yeah, what we should all do is collect all of the ones that we don't think made it, and then just start something where everybody posts the work that they didn't think was good enough. Do
Yeah,
something like that. Let's do it.
yeah.
We'll do it.
I think there was someone used to do that. I don't remember who. It
I
was
think,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't remember who it was, but there's like, show me photos that you haven't posted before ever, right? But
yeah,
to be fair with you, like some of them are just like, oh my god, why did I take this in the first place? To be honest, because I
yeah,
remember like sometimes I had I don't know, like, because I used to record in some instances like the process of capturing the photo, right? And then I remember like once I was just like, nah, I just don't like it. And then after watching the video later, I was just like, actually, I do like the photo now, right? So,
yeah,
but I kind of have it, so I just kind of create the habit of always take it, and then if I don't like it, I delete it. That's it.
yeah.
Easiest
Definitely.
process. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Yep.
So we couldn't speak to you without touching on your involvement with VGP Network. So
Yep.
how did you get on board with them? How did it come about? And what do you like most about being part of a community page?
Yeah. Obviously, all the community pages are amazing, right? In the work they do. I remember when I started, there was definitely TPM, VGP, Gamergram, and it's just kind of remarkable, I guess, the time that they spend on top of what they've got to also support others, right? So obviously, when I started, VGP was probably my go-to. Just because I think they used to engage a bit more, right, with me, and I still remember Steffi lying at my face saying, "Oh my god, this is an amazing shot," but it was just shit, and and then and then there was one day that they just reached out to me and just like, "Hey, you're just wondering if you like to join us and so on." I was just like, "Yeah, I would be more than happy to do it." I think I've been with them probably close to 2 years already. Um, and and the guys now branching out a bit. So I think majority of people already seen it, but we're trying to do some funky stuff with VGP Wednesday as well, which is meant dedicated more for wallpapers, right? That people
Yeah,
post, but now kind of having a bit more theme, so people kind of switch it up a little bit, as they do. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love working with them on that.
it's brilliant, isn't it? And like it's got to be mixed up every now and then. You got to keep it fresh.
Yeah,
It just gets stagnant otherwise. I think we've
Correct.
talked.
Yeah, you just don't want to be a page that just retweets, right? I think it's just like the benefit of the community pages, I guess, is to kind of help showcase work from other people, but also saying like, give a bit of spotlight, I guess, to people as well, right? To kind of show their work, given that the community has grown so much already, right, compared to when I started. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like I said, it's different ways of showing that, whether that's, your themes on a Wednesday, whether it's these interviews or stuff that other community pages are doing. It's just,
Yeah.
it's giving people kind of a different kind of platform. Yes, we can retweet your shots, but we're going to pick out these shots like you guys do, and you pick the ones that are on there. We speak to Aussie people and put that out there. It's just the evolution, isn't it? You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over
Oh,
and over.
100%. 100%. And you guys really hit the kind of jackpot with this idea, right? Of literally using what the platform basically offers, right? To the point of trying to bring more people together, right? So it's just kind of phenomenal. I really enjoyed the idea that you guys are doing with the STF VP.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, Twitter does test it sometimes, though. I think that
I
oh,
bet.
we
I
had
bet.
one episode. Which episode? I think it's episode 4 or 5 with Ken, and
Yeah.
Twitter didn't record it. Oh,
Oh.
oh, having to message Ken and say, "Mate, we had a great chat, but it's not recorded." Oh, Twitter. And now every time I do it, I'm literally staring at the record button flashing, just
Yeah.
praying that it doesn't cut out again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, no, it's good. I really enjoy doing these, getting to chat to people, and we talk to each other online, comments,
Mm.
like that kind of thing. But to actually talk to people from the community, be social in that respect, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Where are we? So I've lost my train of thought now. So you've mentioned already you've been doing VP a long time.
Yeah.
Um, where do you find your inspiration from? And do you ever suffer from creative blocks? Now, this ties in with a couple of questions from Troy and Steffi as well. Steffi has asked the same thing about creative blocks. And Troy
Yeah.
has, again, said, when you first started out, where did you find your inspiration, or did you lean on anybody in particular?
Yeah. When I started, obviously, um, you don't know much about what you're trying to do. In particular, myself not having a photography background, right? So it was quite overwhelming, I guess, to kind of find the pathway to start. So I did look up to a number of different awesome people in the community, like Ruben, Chris CBVP, right, back then. Unfortunately, there were plenty of other VPs, I think, back then, but they slowly stopped on Twitter, at least. But yeah, I find like inspiration, like I've touched a little bit nowadays. I do find a lot of it from either movies or the art books that I've got, right, from the games and so on.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, I think I only started doing that after kind of found my niche where I feel like more comfortable shooting, if that makes sense. But before that, definitely I looked up to all those people that I've mentioned before, right? Like they're like, Chris is just like continues to be like amazing with landscape photography. Ruben is kind of all rounder. To name a few, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah.
And touching on the bit from Steffi, do you ever get into a VP slump? And how do you keep yourself motivated? Or if you don't get into a slump, how do you prevent it?
Um, I think it goes back to that point we spoke at the start, right? Like, so if you go with the intent to just kind of start shooting and posting, that's I think where you start hitting that. Um, I just changed my approach really to basically play the game, enjoy the way I want it, and when I have content to post, I'll post it. And then with that, if I don't take a photo for 2 days, it's all good. No
Yeah,
dramas. I don't feel pressured about it, right? It's just that just today I didn't find anything. And then sometimes you go to Twitter and you have probably that exact same location that you went past, and somebody has a completely different take from what you saw, and you're just like, wow, that looks amazing. I didn't think about that, right? But that's fine. It doesn't bother me. It's just
Yeah.
like everybody has a different kind of creative flair, right? At the end of the day, so
And I think it's about, like we've
yeah,
said, mentioned already, it's about the love of it, isn't it? Because if you don't
yeah,
want to, you don't want to force yourself to. If you're forcing yourself to do something, you're not going to love it. And I think that's sometimes where the slump comes from. Is you're going in with the expectation that you're going to get shots, and if you don't, you then kind of get in a little bit of a rut, and you feel pressured. Is Yeah, it's just love it, love what you're doing, and it doesn't matter if you don't take shots. I'm with you on that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Definitely with you on that one.
I think that's the best advice, right? Because otherwise you just kind of get really paranoid about it, and that's where you just kind of, yeah,
Exactly, man. Exactly. And I just wanted
yeah,
to mention another part of Troy's question because this
yep,
is an important thing about us saying about inspiration and learning and that kind of thing. Troy said as his question, you've been you're a fountain of knowledge and you've been really helpful to him over the past 18 months. So I just wanted to touch on that as well because obviously, you know, reaching out to each other. We're all a source
mm,
of inspiration and learning. And I think you really can form those friendships, those relationships, and learn from other people in the community. And we're a big advocate of on here saying, if you want to speak to someone, if you want to learn something, reach out. And I know Troy's very appreciative of the help you've given him over the past 18 months.
yeah, 100%. Like my DMs are open, right? So I don't really mind. The only ones that I probably don't entertain much is like, how did you land a job at whatever? Those are the ones probably that I usually don't go much, by it. But like everything else that people ask me, like, oh my god, what do you think? I could do differently here. I have like people send me photos to say, what do you think about this? Should I change something? I give my opinion, but I always say, look, this is just my opinion, right? It doesn't mean that this is the right way to do it, as well. It's just like a different take to it.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
would say that to anybody, whoever, if you ever want
yeah,
to DM someone about VP, definitely do it. The only
yeah.
messages I seem to get at the moment are from people in other countries wanting wives, but I don't know why they're doing that to me. Dear, oh dear. Um,
I get that I won like $1 million, so just click on this link and
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's like, how do they think you can afford them? It's like, hang on, that's the same picture you've used for 5 other accounts, and you're saying the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Oh no, you look nice. Of course, you can have $1,000.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Andromeda 18756. Like I'll I'll click on the link.
yeah. Oh dear. And
Yeah.
what I was saying about you've been doing VP a long time, inspiration thing. You've been doing it a long time. Infinite without fulfillment. Would like to know how old were you when you started VP? That's a personal question, isn't it?
She's trying to figure out how old I am, right? So I'm not gonna give it to her.
Let, let,
So
let, let, let's have a little bit of a game about it then. So, don't
yeah.
tell us. So, judging by the sound of your voice, uh, your maturity, I'm gonna peg you somewhere in your 30s.
Yeah, I would just say old enough to pick my own games, right? So that's how far I would go.
We'll let you have that one. We'll let you have that one.
Yep.
You don't sound like you're a 60-year-old gamer, so that's good.
No arthritis yet.
So we touched on the community, and the next question, over the past 5 years, the virtual photography community has changed a lot. It's evolved a lot. What evolution would you like to see next within the community space? Where do you like to see it go?
Um, I think it's a bit hard, right? Because a lot of the work that we do is a bit kind of dependent on the platforms available, right?
Yeah,
Out there. So I feel always like it's just like what is like Twitter is gonna offer next, that will help people engage in a different way, I would say. But it's hard to say. I think like the like the work that you guys do, for instance, in terms of the magazine and the spaces thing. I think this is a great way to bring more people together to collaborate and so on. Obviously there is a lot of time that goes to it. I know for fact, right?
yeah,
Um, But yeah, it's just kind of, I'll be keen to see like what happens up next in terms of, what kind of engagement tools will be out there to help bring more people to it, right? I've seen like people creating communities on Twitter, but I don't feel necessary people engage a lot on that. It's just like another place that they just want to dump their link for their tweet post and so on, right? As opposed to connect.
Yeah,
Like a Discord channel as an example, So yeah.
definitely. And I think, I think for me, I think what I'd like to see, what we're doing now, is just more actual engagement with each other. So whether
Mm.
that's things like this, whether that's people starting to organise um, meetups in different countries. I know we've heard from several people who've won competitions where they got to meet with other VPs and socialise. They found that
Yeah,
good. Imagine if you had a Australian VP meetup when you all went somewhere. I'll pick Sydney out of a hat. All went to Sydney, all got drunk, done VP. Be great, wouldn't it? So
absolutely. Absolutely.
something like
Yeah.
that, or planning to go to game conventions and all meeting up, that kind of thing. See, I'd like to see that next,
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
think
see.
that will be amazing. Yeah, I think UB did a photo mode event right in the US. I think that they
Yeah,
got some people together. I think there was a PlayStation one as well. I think if we had more of these, it would be pretty awesome, right? Like same kind of style, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to have to be in the same country. I can't say to my wife, "Hang on, can I have a couple of £1,000 to get a flight to Australia to go
Yeah.
meet up?" I don't think that would fly.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think that's where you're starting wrong, right? You should start with, by the way, I just won this prize. I have to fly to the US right now, right?
yeah. If you're listening, Red Bull Capture Point, and you're planning on doing it again this year, bear me in
Yeah.
mind. I'd love a trip to New York to meet some people. Um, but yeah, no, that'd be really good, really good.
Yeah.
So we
And
talked a lot about
mm.
your journey so far, what you've been up to, but what does the future hold for CoalaTV? Do you have anything in the pipeline? Is it business as usual? Is there anything you can tell us about what you've got planned coming up?
um, I think it's really waiting for October, really, right? I think that's where I'm going to be covering more like Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Alan Wake, and so on. Until then, I think it's a bit lightweight. I'm curious about Starfield. A bit worried, to be honest, given that they signed up a deal with AMD on that. But yeah, I think October is probably the month that I'll be planning more stuff to do at the moment.
So you really excited about Starfield?
I am. I am very excited. I'm all for it. Interstellar kind of virtual photography.
Yeah, yeah,
But I just feel that from what I heard so far from people that have been playing Bethesda games for a while,
yeah,
it is quite rocky start. Usually, it takes months to fix it. Usually, the community fixes. So I don't know. I'm gonna start in September,
yeah,
but if it is too rough, I'll probably continue later.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've probably got quite an unpopular opinion about Starfield. Is I like the concept,
Mm.
but being a player that has for many years enjoyed playing No Man's Sky, where you've already been able to travel planets, already been able to build bases, do ships and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, but in a vibrant, colourful way. When I saw the reveal of Starfield, I thought, yeah, that's good. But for me, it just looks so bland. The colour palette looks
Yeah.
so bland. But
It
I think
does.
that's
Yeah.
I'm a bit biased coming from playing No Man's Sky. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'll sit on the fence until it comes out and we'll see
Yeah.
what it's actually like.
Well, there has been a lot of comparisons with No Man's Sky, right? That they were literally almost copying and pasting some of the things that the game does. I haven't played No Man's Sky, so I can't really tell, right? But yeah, I see where you're coming from. I think yeah, like I would prefer as well a bit more vibrant as well.
Yeah,
But we'll see, right? Nothing like a
exactly.
filter wouldn't fix it, right?
Hey, here you go. That
Yeah,
can get you over. That can
yeah.
block the gap until October. You can pick up No Man's Sky. It's probably only like $10 on. So
Uh, I don't know
Do
if I
it.
can squeeze that in.
Do it. Yeah, so let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So I've got a bit of a different question in for the next one.
Okay.
We've not put this in before, so you're the guinea pig for this one.
All right. Okay.
So
So I gotta
I've
screw it
done
up.
so I've done 10 of these interviews now, and I get to ask a lot of questions to you guys. So let's
Okay.
turn the tables. If you could ask me 3 questions, what would they
Yeah.
be?
Okay. Um. Okay. VP wise, probably. What's your kind of one game you wish there was a PM but never got it?
Oh, I'm just trying to think now because I've played so many games. Um, I'm having a mind blank now. I know. In GTA you've got
Oh yeah.
a certain aspect, a certain kind of thing that you have to go out of this to go into that to go into the PM. But some,
Yep.
I always when I was playing, because I never got into that when I was playing GTA. I was just going around shooting people. I was too busy doing that. But to have kind of like a fully functioning PM that you could just, here you go, you're in the PM. Let's take a picture of all the carnage that you're creating. I would probably say that because I've tried it now, but going out of your main game into this game, into that bit, to start taking pictures of it, I just lose interest. So yeah, something like GTA off the spot. If I had time to think about it more, I'd probably think of something else, but that's what springs to mind.
No, I think that's a great example. To be honest, I thought that with that PS5 upgrade, they would do it as well. But I'm the same with you. I tried, and I was just like, this is just too much work to,
And
to take
plus,
one
plus,
photo. Yeah,
plus, the game's been out so long now.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it, it looks a bit dated. So I mean, GTA
yeah,
6. Let's see what happens. Let's see
yeah,
what.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any others? You got 2 more.
Let me see. Um, who do you support Premier League?
Premier League.
Yeah,
I don't, mate. I'm one of
you
those
know.
really weird,
Oh,
weird men who I like playing sport,
right.
but to sit in front of a TV and watch lots of men in shorts run around kicking a ball, it bores the hell out of me. But but I do make the exception if there's a World Cup on. I'm one of
If
those
I
people.
were,
Yeah, I don't follow football, but if the World Cup's on, I'm like, yeah, England, yeah, and then we lose and everybody's upset. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm when I was younger and I had like football tots and stuff, even though I didn't support football, it was Liverpool. So that was like
Liverpool. Yeah.
that was when I was 5. So it probably
Mm.
has no bearing now. But yeah, I don't really follow it now, to be honest. I much prefer to play sport, but the funny thing is that I'm
Mm.
too unfit to play the sport. So it's a vicious cycle.
It is. No, 100%.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, last one. Make it a good one.
I don't know. Well, you've asked me my favorite dish. What's yours?
So I don't have a particular favourite dish, but my favourite thing that goes in a lot of the dishes that I make is chorizo. I love
Chorizo.
chorizo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love chorizo. I could eat it on its own. We regularly make tapas and do like just chorizo with
yeah. Yep.
mushrooms or peppers. Oh, I absolutely love chorizo and paella, Spanish omelette. I love it. And
Everything.
we've recently been to Menorca.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I saw your pictures. Yep, yep.
yeah, and we had tapas when we were out there, and it's amazing. Absolutely, I love Spanish food. There you go. Yeah, so chorizo
Yeah.
for everything, but Spanish food, I love it. Spanish and maybe a bit of Thai. I love Thai food as well. But yeah,
Well,
I'm a
yeah. Here you got heaps of Thais restaurants. That's for sure. So you're well served if you come to Australia any
yeah, we've
day.
got we've got
Yeah.
loads over here now as well. But yeah, no, I
Mm.
like Thai probably more than Chinese food because Thai is a lot more aromatic and kind of
Yeah, I agree with you.
flavorful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're getting very culinary now. But yeah, no, well, I'm going to add you to the food porn group, definitely. We can start. You can start sending us pictures of your food.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so before our last question, I'm just going to say to anybody who's listening, if you do want to ask a question live, you can. I appreciate a lot of people are in bed, but the people who have turned up, and Troy, I know I can count on you. No pressure. After this last question, and we're going to put it out to see if anybody wants to ask one live. So we always finish with the same question, and we've gone through a lot of what you do, and we've just probably given a little bit of tidbits and tips for people. But what advice or tips would you give to any new or existing VPs out there? If you could give them one bit of advice, what would it be?
I think there has been so many people already reiterating the same points, right? But I think it's always like about do it for yourself, right? And really have fun with it. You know, it's just like if you get to a routine that you just kind of going for the social media aspects of it, you just kind of get really paranoid about it. I think that's the ultimate challenge. If you are looking to improve your skills in photography, I think always kind of looking up to different people, different styles. I did, like I said to you, because I didn't have a photography background, I did read about a lot of the concepts around photography. Not that I'm a master of it, but at least to understand the fundamentals as well. You know, I think it's quite important to understand, you know, what are the different techniques you can use, depth of field and the things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is like plenty of stuff on Google, right? So you can just kind of browse around. But yeah, just like, because I just have the interest about the subject itself, right? It just kind of allow me to kind of go and try to understand a bit more about it, you know.
Cool. Yeah, and you know, I know you said that most people have said the same thing on that last question, but it's true. I think the fact that everybody's saying it just shows how that is the most important bit of advice that people can take from it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. So now is the time. Don't let me down, Troy. If anybody's got a question that they want to ask live, pop in a speak request and we'll get you on and you can ask Diego his question live. And this is that moment now where there's an air of silence, a few tumbleweeds going past, waiting to see if anybody's plucking up the courage to ask you a question live. Come on, Troy. Does anybody want to ask Diego a question, or have we covered everything that you wanted to ask? I think Troy's fallen asleep. It's too late for him. He's been having
6 o'clock. He's done.
Well, he's been eating baklava today, so he might have tired himself out eating baklava. No, here we go. He's here. He's requested. Let's get him on. Hey, Troy. Are you there?
Hello,
Troy. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm in yourself.
Yeah, all good, man.
So, Diego, how you going, buddy? All right?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. My question for you would be, if you could only ever play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Shit. One game for the rest of my life. I think, but I guess like for the rest of my life that I would forget at the end of it, right? Like almost like a Drew Barrymore kind of situation, right? Start again.
Yeah.
I'll be, I'll be The Last of Us, I think.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm glad you didn't say Last of Us 2 because I wouldn't know what you're going on about.
Yeah, on that, Dave, you were going to finish that after my interview, weren't you? I do remember.
Yeah, mate, but I've got kids. I've got kids and I work and I play for like 3 hours a week.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
well, the trick here, Dave, is that you don't start the next game, right? You finish what you started, right?
Yeah, good call.
I know. Yeah, I can feel the pressure. I have to finish it somewhere. I have to finish it. I better not be disappointed with the story.
So now you've
I can't say anything.
Now you've got to wonder if it's worth waiting on these rumours that they're they're remaking it for PS5.
That's a good point. Yeah. You know what rumours are like? Rumours circulate for years, don't they?
Mhm. Yep,
I
true.
think it's likely.
Yeah.
Because I think they want to port it to PC.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the brand.
And plus, if you're following what they've done with part one, then yeah, it's no brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, the brand
that's
itself is huge. The Last of Us, with the show and all that, the brand's pretty big at the moment, so they'd capitalise on it if they could.
Definitely. Well, thank you for your question, Troy.
No worries, gents.
Cool. Jack, I saw you put in a speak request, but it's disappeared. So I don't know whether that's Twitter being funny or whether Troy asked the question you were going to ask. But if you do want to ask the question, Jack, just pop in the request again. But failing that, Diego, it's been emotional. It's been early today for me, not for you. But no, it's been really. Oh, here we go. No, Jack's requested. Let's get Jack on to ask his question. There we go. Jack, you are now on. If you take yourself off mute.
Was the one that Troy asked.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. I quickly thought of another one. I joined the space quite late, or early, I guess for me. I'm in the UK, so I don't know which side of it it is. You may have already answered it, but I was going to ask what your similar sort of question. What if you only play one game, what could it ever be? But instead, it would be what game have you taken photos of, or anything that you think is a little bit, I guess, a little bit more niche, that people may not have considered doing virtual photography in, or you'd like to showcase and be like, this is a cool game to take pictures in that no one else is taking pictures in. Does that make sense as a question?
No, it does. Yeah. I feel a lot of times the games that are probably a little bit underappreciated is more like indie games. So my kind of two favorite, but like I said, it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, right? Is the Ascent. It's an awesome game. I think you've played as well, Dave.
Yep. It's a good game.
And I guess fantastic photo mode. When I played it, actually it didn't have, so I played with camera tools, but now they release photo mode with it. So I definitely would suggest to pick it up if you like that kind of upper view, more like, I don't know, kind of XCOM kind of view of a game. And then there is another one, very basic photo mode, but really cool game to shoot, which is Biomutant.
Yeah, see, Biomutant had, it had quite a reasonable launch, but then it dropped off the radar, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It was just a kind of a really small game, right? They did push a few updates, to kind of fill up the world and things like that. I quite enjoyed it. It was quite a lot of fun. You can have photo mode is pretty basic, but it has one, but yeah, it was a good game in my opinion. I did like it.
Yeah, definitely. And the Ascent, I know the Ascent is the Ascent, whether you're on Xbox or PlayStation. I think it's on Game Pass, and I think it is now on the PlayStation Plus as well. So if you want to pick it up, jump on in, Jack. It is a good game. And the thing I liked about that is obviously you play it, like you said, like isometric type view, but then when you go into the photo mode, it changes it completely, doesn't it? You can just take pictures as normal, which is really good. And I've normally only seen that in people who play on PC and use camera tools. So it's really good to get that photo mode in that one. But yeah, no, definitely pick that up, Jack, and give that a go.
I will do. Thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks for your question. Well, Diego, thanks very much, man. It's been very good to talk to you. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. And I'm going to have some breakfast because I'm starving. And we will get this up on YouTube later today so people who are still in bed can catch up. But no, it's been great to speak to you, man. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll catch up soon.
Thank you, mate. And thanks for having me.
No worries.
Thanks for everyone to join in as well.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
See ya. Bye.